Hey, couples, let's talk about love.
We're not experts. We're just taking you on our journey of love.
So, today's topic is we don't need more date nights.
No more date nights.
I don't need to keep dating you.
Girl, you better keep dating me for the rest of your life.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, babe, how are you?
I am doing splendid. How about you?
Same here, same here. Doing good.
Another
Ready
week.
for the week?
Another week. Another week. Another week.
Yes. So, this was a great topic. We didn't really discuss this in depth,
hmm
but we were thinking like we don't need more date nights. What does that mean?
Well, I think what happens is when marriages are getting into issues, people say you got to date each other. You got to have more date nights, and I think some people may take that literally or in the wrong way and just start creating these not real connection based
Exactly.
date nights, and we look at it as more of a of a way that we actually curate experiences that we
Exactly.
both enjoy, which is not necessarily just based around a date night. And there's so many different ways to date your significant other.
And we don't have to continue to spend a lot of money. Sometimes money don't even need to be involved in it.
Look, I'm a keep it real.
Oh
So I'm
God.
gonna go back to the beginning.
Oh
All right, people, I'm going
no.
back to the beginning here. So
No, not the
you're gonna get
beginning.
a little insight on the beginning of us. So
Make it brief.
when I first hit up my wife, and then not even girlfriend, just somebody I was interested in,
True.
and I offered
Oh,
to go
I
out
know
on
what
a
you're about to
date.
tell them.
So I offered to go out on a date. So she said yes. So then after she said yes, I was like, ooh, oh, because then I had to look at the funds. And I was
He
like,
was broke.
basically, I was. I wasn't in the same position I am now. So I had to think about that. So I pivoted and I gave her an option. Would you like to go out to eat or would you like me to cook for you?
And like a crazy person, I said, "Oh, I'd like you to cook for me. I don't know this man from Adam and Eve.
But she felt comfortable. It's that
I
energy.
must have."
And then I said, well, would you like to watch me cook or would you like to be prepared when you got there ready?
I'm like, "Ooh, let's see what he can do."
So I worked my magic and I cooked.
And
Now,
ladies, let me tell you, seeing that man in the kitchen move around and cook, I was like, "Oh yeah, he good looking and he can cook."
and my kitchen was not really a great kitchen to
No, it
cook in.
wasn't, but
So
anyway.
the fact that I was able to make things happen and that magic happened in there was really good. Long story short, here we are,
Yep, we're
13 years
here.
later,
I was like,
um,
"Why am I in this man's house and I don't know him?" But
and everything I made, she didn't really like.
it wasn't
Um,
that I didn't
she
like
just
it;
didn't
just
eat,
I just didn't eat them.
but
So
she ate them and she enjoyed what she did, and it was the concept. But for me, really, you know, I felt, and the reason, yes, on the surface, I believe there was a part of me that was like, my bank account don't connect. It's Tuesday and that was Wednesday, and so there was a part of that. But then the other part of it really was, this was more of a connection.
yeah,
If and even when I asked you if you wanted to come watch me cook and be a part of it, like to me, the cooking is there's a bit of intimacy there. There's a bit of
I
love. There's a bit
agree.
of connection. So
Not love,
not
but a
love you, but
connection.
like yeah,
Yes,
so like, but well, I mean, I put love into the cooking, as
you
you can
did.
see that,
You
so you can
did,
see like what I'm doing. So that process, and
and it was considered a date.
yes,
So did we spend a lot of money? Did we go and sit in front of somebody that in a restaurant where they prepared a meal that we can do on our own? No,
and I think you have more control this way.
I agree.
Because what if the restaurant messes up? What if the cook is having a bad day? What if all these things? And now the meal is terrible. You don't like it. I mean, how many times? I mean, I'm typically good about picking places to go to eat, but I'm not gonna lie. The last two choices that I made,
Oh,
based
come
on
on. It's okay. Let's
reviews,
get
and
back to the date
they
night
just weren't
then.
great. So it kind of hurt my own feelings. But what if that happens on your first date night or on an early date night? That you like pick a place that you think is going to be good, and then it's not. That changes the date because now you have, especially if you both enjoy food.
Yeah.
And we both enjoy good food. So if like the food wasn't good, I mean, we can bond over talking about how the food wasn't
I
good.
think that's the key though.
But then figuring out what that is, and then we end up going out for McDonald's afterwards. I don't know.
Pretty much. That didn't work out too well either. But we digress.
But it's the idea of that concept of like this does allow you to control you for sure. Like, hey, I'm gonna make something that I know you're gonna like, and it brings us together. And that connection piece is the key, which is something that we take into our marriage even now.
And I think once you get into the minutia of the marriage, right? You've been at it for 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, ongoing. What sets each day apart? Like, we're going through a hard time. Now we don't need to date each other, go out on more dates. We need to reconnect with each other.
Yes.
And I think that date night, quote unquote, phrase means how about we just do yoga? Or how about we go in here and make a meal that we found online?
Or even going to the supermarket together.
Go grocery shop. Like, I like to shop late at night. Jay doesn't like that. I'll be out there in the middle of the night doing my shopping. I don't have to deal with a lot of people. I have to be around a lot of people, which is best for me. But to have him come join me, I consider that a date. Like, because we're doing this together. We have broken up that we haven't communicated well with each other. Let's talk about why we choose this cereal over this cereal, or why we getting this bacon and not this bacon. And also to keep in mind, we're together.
Yeah.
So that's our form of date night or date day.
And it takes the chore out of the chore.
Oh, exactly.
It brings it into them. And then we start like with having the other person, you having conversation, you can talk about things. So even if like I'll see an article and I was like, oh, you know what? This guy said he lost weight by just changing the products that he bought. So he would read the labels, and anything that had extra stuff in it, he just wouldn't buy. And that kind of thing. So you would now, we can look at that. When you're by yourself, it's hard to do that because A, there's no one to talk to. You look crazy in the middle of the store talking to yourself about the products. And then like you also don't, you just trying to get in and out.
Yeah.
Versus being with somebody else. We could talk. I mean, how many times have we started shopping at like 11 o'clock at night? Next thing you know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and we coming home because we had a good time doing it. Like we're laughing, we're joking, we're making fun of stuff.
Reconnecting with each other if that connection had started to
I may put on a crazy hat in the aisle and wait till she looks my way and she's like, oh my God, what are you doing? What are you trying this on for? Like, what are you doing?
We do act a little bit of a fool in Walmart, but we're in there with all the other ones that's in there.
There you go at that time. So it's fun.
And I also think like it doesn't always have to deal with money. It doesn't always have to deal with, going out somewhere. I also think sitting in a room in each other's presence and just be quiet, cuddle, maybe hug.
You can read together. You can watch TV together.
Yeah. Like we have a great movie day where we just watch some really great movies. Again, that's what I consider a date.
And I think we've also, because we've paid attention to each other, we found out we're like, and I think it's interesting, although we are opposites in many ways, but we have so many similarities and things that we like. So we found the love that we both do love movies.
We do.
And we love them in different ways. It's funny because like my wife does not remember the movies.
I don't look at movies to remember. I look at them at the moment in time.
And see, I'm studying them, I'm analyzing them, and I'm remembering them. So like I remember lines.
I can't
I remember lines, I remember faces, I remember stuff. Like we'd be out somewhere, I'm like, oh, don't that look like that one character from the movie? And you're like, huh? And I go online and find it. You're like, oh my God, that's hilarious. Remember that night we was at that other event and the guy looked like how Martin dressed up in the movie, and you were like, and I went and found the movie and I found the thing and put them side by side, and it was like, yo, this dude is a spitting image of this character that Martin created. And I was like, how, like, what are the chances? But that's that, like, and it's funny. So, but we both love movies, and so we'll spend time. Like, we haven't missed. We have a thing like every time a new movie, movie come out, we're there in the morning. First one's watching the movie.
And I like that we take our date nights or date days, whatever you want to call. I don't think of another way to say that besides date night. And we also may just say, you know what, today we're just going to lay in the bed in each other's arms.
Cuddling
up. We won't turn on any TV. We'll talk to each other. But I think that's, again, date night means to reconnect.
Yes.
So now we're reconnecting.
Sometimes just doing things together. I can think about, I like There've been times when I'm shaving and you're just standing there in the
I'm,
bathroom with me
I'm also
watching me.
mesmerized by
You
that
know,
too.
like and I'm shaving and we're talking and like and that to me is again, there's another form of connection. It's another form of just building together and quote unquote date again. You know, like
Yeah.
it's so I
It's
think
something different.
yeah,
Like we don't, and I'm going to tell you this. I like the fact that we do things for each other, and it always. I like Jay's way of doing things for me. One time he took me to a floral garden. When I tell you, it probably cost absolutely nothing. It was the most beautiful place. And I truly enjoyed that. And that made me look at him like different, not different bad, but like, wow.
she said he really is broke. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But it was great. No, I looked at it as like he tapped into another side of me that I had no idea really existed. Because I was always a brown thumb. I'm not a flower person. I'm not a plant person. It's just not me. But this floral garden brought out a whole nother softer like side of me that I really didn't have, and I loved it. It was the best thing ever. It was a surprise. I love surprises. I was expecting a T-bone steak dinner with live jazz, but this was the top. I think that was one of the best um, things you had done for me, which opened up another level of connection for us, for me to him, because now you are really taking in consideration how I feel. You're taking in consideration of what you think or could potentially make me happy. And you took a chance and a risk with that.
Yeah. I think it's also, a way that it really sparks us to create this healthy competition even
Oh
within ourselves
yeah.
where we are always looking to, curate these experiences that we both benefit from,
Exactly.
in multiple ways. So it's like finding what will work. So, I'm looking and I'm researching and she's doing the same thing. And, we're finding, some, because you have social media where they have different dates and different people doing stuff, and you're like, "Ooh, that'd be interesting. We could try that." We look into it and see, like, would this be something that we both would enjoy, um, and we like, and make sure that you keep talking about it
Mm,
because oftentimes there are things that you like. So, I mean, we've been together now 13 years, married for 10. There are things that we did in the beginning that we both probably liked a lot that we
yes.
may not want to keep doing now. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
That
Like
we don't
so,
keep
but
doing.
because you did it and it worked before, doesn't mean it's still gonna work. So I think you need to talk about it. Like, hey, is this something? Because
I
I
think
forgot
we
what it was.
grow.
Something came up and you said, you know what? I don't really want to do that anymore. And I was like, oh, well, okay. Because I said, I've been doing it because we always liked it. But
I
you were like,
do, but
what
you
was
know
it?
what?
You
I
remember?
can't remember, but you know what? That also shows that we grow within this
Yeah,
marriage. We just like we grow in age, and we don't go and stay out all night and like we used to. I think that's what people forget.
yeah,
We grow out of things,
yeah. I mean,
and it's
roller coasters.
okay.
Roller coasters was one of
Oh
them.
yes,
I mean, we bonded
I
over roller
love.
coasters. I mean, we
I
both
love roller
we
coasters.
both were like the
Roller coaster
higher, the faster,
fanatics.
the bigger,
Yes.
the better. And at some point, age caught up with us, and they weren't fun anymore.
I think the last one I got on, I got off, I was almost in tears.
Yeah, and it was just like it wasn't fun. It was like this hurt. I
Yeah.
got a headache. That seat was tight. My legs in pain. You start complaining about stuff,
Yes.
and it's like, but it doesn't mean. And again, you know what? Somebody. It's funny. I had an old boss that this reminded me of that the dating, the getting out, connecting with each other. And one thing he said was he was talking about in terms of employees, and he said, you know what? Sometimes you have employees that just not working out, and he said employees are like ice cream. He said, so when you're a kid, you love ice cream, but typically, which ice cream do you love? It's chocolate or vanilla. There's no other flavors for you as a
Butter
kid.
pecan, wait a
As a
minute.
kid, little kid, you don't know nothing about no 3 or 4 year old, 5 year olds don't know nothing about no
Okay,
butter pecan.
fine.
They know chocolate, vanilla, maybe strawberry because it's a pink color. Like it's a color. These are 3 flavors. We don't know nothing else. As you get older, your palate changes.
Yeah.
You may go for butter pecan. You may go for rum raisin, good cookie
And you
graham.
want the experiences to be different.
Still ice cream,
Mm-hmm.
just different ones. And that's how it looks at when it comes to your marriage. You know, it's like we still are loving the ice cream,
but just different flavors.
but different flavors.
You know what? And date night has evolved.
Yes,
we have to continue to let it evolve.
I mean, we did the one day night where we both purchased
oh yeah, that was great.
store brand and national brand products, and then did blind taste tests to see which ones we liked better.
That was awesome.
And a lot of the store brand won out of that one. So I was like, I think we should do that again, but they were a different store.
Yeah.
You know, and try that, and then keep trying it, because again, it was just something different. We did we made candles.
We did,
and we did that on the cheap, because we went to the secondhand store and found some of the items that we needed. So
and went to the dollar store, bought some.
I keep suggesting this one day night, but she hasn't gone with it yet.
Oh my goodness, what is that?
Which is to go to the secondhand store and we both pick out outfits for each other that we have to wear.
I don't want to buy. Okay, that's a whole nother topic. We don't want to talk about it. I don't want to go to the secondhand store and buy any clothes. But anyway, but I think what we're saying is this, that date night just isn't going to a restaurant, sitting in front of in a crowded restaurant in front of a plate of food that we have to pay for, prepared by someone that we don't know.
You don't want it to be mundane.
Exactly.
Like, I think that's what happens. You go out, you say, we're going to have a date night. And we go to the same restaurant.
And wait, we don't even talk.
Yep.
Because we can't connect. It's too loud. Music's playing too loud. How are we reconnecting in a setting that don't require us to communicate and connect with each other?
That's true. It's funny, even when, and you think about it, some people may ask the question, because we're movie fanatics. So we literally will spend
a whole day
in the movie theater. I mean, like it's a job.
Lunch.
We have lunch, dinner. We have breakfast, lunch, sometimes dinner,
thing.
lunch and dinner. And we really go hard. And people will say, like, well, how can you connect if you're watching movies? Which is true. But you know what? Some of the things that we do is what we bring for each other. Knowing, okay, I know that she loves this,
and I know he liked Reese cups.
And so we'll bring this stuff together. What we plan for the food that we're going to order.
We also, after the movie, we talk about it. Yep. Like, how did this make us feel?
What do we like?
I didn't like this movie. Yep. This was a waste, or this was, oh my God, this was great. It gives us that time to reconnect with each other on the level of, how did we like this movie? All right, next movie.
I think that's another piece of it. Just talking with each other, talking it through, working it out. When we clean together,
Yeah.
And do our spring cleaning, and we just turn on music throughout the house, and we just
dancing and
we
cleaning.
turn it at a party. So if we come together, it's so funny. It's like the unspoken rule that if we end up like in the same space together, we immediately start dancing. With each other, because like typically we go to our different areas,
right,
and clean. Like Monica likes the floors.
I'm a floor cleaner,
and I like the bathrooms. I do the bathroom.
Likes the bathroom.
I like
to talk about that.
I love the bathroom. I clean the bathrooms. That seems like it's an easy thing to do.
I don't think so, but anyway,
that's why I like it. So it's that. We clean the windows. We do our whole deep clean. And like I said, we end up together. We're dancing, and then we go back to what we're doing. We get it done. We break for our breakfast, our lunch, dinners.
And I like the fact that I consider that a date.
Yeah.
Because we sit down on the calendar and set this date of when we're going to do this.
Yep.
And we do it together. And date night means togetherness, that we're together, we're doing this, we're communicating, we're talking about what went wrong or what's going on and how we're going to fix it.
We've done projects together.
We have.
Creating your office space
that was awesome. The girls
book nook. Like our closet room.
Room.
I always, I enjoy. I'm not gonna lie. I do. For me, I love it when Monica is with me doing something. It makes me feel
always into that.
It makes me feel special. Like that you are with me doing it. Not that I want you to do it, but like just that when you're with me doing it, like it makes it feel a little like I don't feel alone, and I don't feel like, and I feel
it's
okay.
not a chore at this
point,
right?
Like it's fun. Like even if like
he's showing off, look what I could do.
Yeah, like I love what we cook together.
We do.
which is really fun. Especially we got a small kitchen,
Oh
so
my
like
gosh.
it's so crazy. This house was designed so weird.
It was. But we love it.
But we love it. We love it. We
It's
love
all
it.
on one floor, but we love it.
But like like working in the kitchen and like working together and like it's great because it does. And even if it's something simple, like simple breakfast, like we still do it together.
We do.
And help each other out.
And you know what else we love to do? I consider this a date day with the grandkids. We get the grandkids on the weekend and we just have a ball. This is a day that, again, we're connecting. We're making memories with our grandkids, even though sometimes they drive us nuts, but it's okay. That's what they're supposed to do. We love them all the less.
But it's fun.
It is. And I think that keeps us even more connected. And also when we just sit back and say, how was your day?
Yeah.
How checking in with each other.
Yeah.
I think that's how we keep those expensive date nights inexpensive.
Well, I think about it. It was one day that I was coming home and you get off of work and you had something else to do, so I couldn't talk to you on my way home. And like I felt like I was missing something that I couldn't put my finger on it, and it didn't dawn on me until you came home, and I was able to ask you the questions that I normally ask you when I'm on my way home, and I was like, that's what I was missing for my drive home. It was like our mini little 5, 10, 15-minute date, of just like us talking about the day and just what happened and how you feeling and do we need to pick up anything and what are we having and oh we should try this for dinner and like all those conversations and like that little bit was like it was missed because we video chat.
We do.
So we get to see each other.
And then sometimes Jay just likes to sit on there and just look at me.
I do.
While he's driving. I'm like, babe, I'm going to see you when you get home.
It's like you're in the car with me.
But you know what I like about one of the special dates that we have? When we go to yoga.
Yeah.
I mean, this was something new for me. I'm going to say more so for me, yoga. I actually wanted to join. And I didn't think Jay was going. So here's how it went. I'm going to do yoga, as I get older, the aches and the pains and the stiffness. And they said, well, yoga helps. And I said to Jay, I'm going to go ahead and do yoga. He said, well, I would like to do yoga. I'm like, really?
Remember, I sent you the video about the pains, though.
I know, but that didn't mean you knew. So I was like, this is great. So that was our date. Going to yoga today? Yep, we're going to yoga. I mean, and we like put it on our calendar. These are the yoga classes that we're going to take together. Again, another form of connecting, another form of just being in each other's presence. Mm-hmm. I think that's what keeps us grounded in this marriage and willing to make it work.
Yeah,
I agree. And the date night doesn't necessarily mean that I have to go out and take you to dinner.
I agree.
So, another thing that I really liked that I didn't like that we need to continue to date each other was like, it's not all about what you're going to do for me or what I'm going to do for you. It's all about how are we connecting through these years of our marriage, and how do we continue to connect through these years of marriage? When they say, oh, you need to go on a date, you need to have your private time. Now, Jay and I empty nesters, so we're not getting any private time from any kids, right? It's just us.
Yeah.
And so how does that look for people that don't have kids?
Yeah.
How does
and making sure that you do incorporate that, because I think what you just said makes sense. People associate needing dates because they have children, but when you don't have children, you still need dates.
You still need to connect.
But it's just what we call classifying as a date is more of a connection.
Exactly.
So that when we say we don't need more date nights, we're saying you don't just need the standard, here's what you're doing. We're saying you need more connections. And remember, it's an equal share.
Yes.
So remember that both parties, both of us, are planning these experiences. We're the ones curating these experiences individually together, in that way. So like, don't just leave it up to one person. It's not the man's job. It's not the woman's job. It's both of our jobs to come up with these ways to connect with each other that bring the relationship closer, that make us feel more connected with each other, and that we are, one. And you have a memory. You creating that memory. And it goes back to what we said before. These are deposits that you're making into your love account.
Yeah. See how that connects?
You know how I mean, and especially you think about it, the more you create these experiences, how the fact that Monica still talks about the flower experience, that is something that's like that was time put into that. It didn't just come on a whim. I had to research and to find it, and it was like, oh, this may be good. And again, it was taking a risk because she could have said this was the worst thing ever, or maybe she had an allergy attack while it happened. And it was like, oh my god, this is horrible. But it was an enjoyable experience. We saw some beautiful sights. Took some great pictures, and it was like,
god, it was amazing.
It was just so that's what it's about. It's like finding these things like you and listening to your partner, understanding that you know your partner, you know what they're talking about, you know what they like. So it's like if I do something that I think you like, and it's there. We found out we didn't like concerts in the same way, because it was so crowded. And
seats are too small,
and then the cost is so ridiculous. And it's like, my God, it's like, did we have a good time, really? But we both love music, so it was interesting.
And being willing to step out of that comfort zone, step out of the norm. Yeah. Just like the flower garden, I think was a step out for you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I'm just going to try it. But then we know next time we're not going to do that. That didn't work.
Yeah.
I think it's just about making sure that we break up the monotony of a date, make it different, make it, make it so that we continue to connect.
But experience it together. And we find things that, like we did a mini golf experience that we thought was going to be fun, even because we both love mini golf. Mm-hmm. And this one just was not as fun because it was so tiny.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I think the concept was more centered around it being indoor and you drinking than it was actually playing mini golf. Because we completed the mini golf in like 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, it was horrible.
It was so quick. And I was like, I felt like I spent $1 million. And
it was horrible.
We spent more time getting there, parking, paying for parking.
Yeah.
And then to pay to get in.
I didn't like it at all. I'm sorry. It was a waste
bad.
Of money and a waste of, I feel like, time. But anyway.
But we did it together.
We did it, I'm about to say, we did it together.
And we had fun for that 10, 15 minutes.
We did. Because we're very competitive, too.
Yeah, so it was fun, but it was just, we definitely missed out something, there. And I think that's the key, but we did it as one.
I agree. So we'll leave you with this question.
So,
no.
Well, the question is going to be connected to the topic of next time, right?
Exactly. So I'm jumping ahead, guys. I'm like, but we want to say this though. Mark your calendars.
Oh, yes.
Oh, we got a surprise for you guys. We're going to go live. I mean, when I say live, you heard it. I'm talking about video. You're going to see our lovely faces.
Yes.
So mark your calendars for Friday, April 26th. I'm all off, right?
Yep.
Mark your calendars for April 26th.
Nope. Got the wrong date.
It's not.
It is not.
It's April the 28th.
Is going to be released.
I'm sorry. We're going to release it on the 28th. Yes. No, but we're going to go live on Friday the 26th. It's probably not, if we're going to go live, we're going to be there. They're going to see this.
Okay.
And if you miss it, then you can go back on the 28th to listen to it again. Okay. See, I was right.
Gotcha.
So check us out. We're going to talk about intimacy. Be prepared. It's going to be great. Join us. You get to see Jason and I face. We're excited about that. What is this next topic about?
Next topic is don't let the social media post fool you.
We're going to leave it there.
Don't let the social media post fool you.
So thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Please subscribe. And if you like our podcast, give us a like on Facebook, shout out on Instagram. And join us next week as we talk about don't let the social media post fool you. Until next week, don't forget to tell your spouse, hey, I love you.
I love you.
And you're my rock.
You're my peace.
All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.